I'm not leaving. I'm not fucking leaving! The show goes on! This is my home! They're gonna need a fucking wrecking ball to take me out of here!
Yes, I'm doing cheerful now. And I'm doing really well at it. And I'm happy about it because, man, think about all the reasons you've got to be happy.
Oh, yeah.
Ain't dead from COVID. Ain't sick from COVID. Hey, new all-time highs on the fucking NASDAQ. Enjoy.
Dude, you made the most brilliant coin ever made. Like,
and that,
you should be the happiest guy alive. I feel like I feel, dude. Good. If you would have looked at my life 7 months ago, you would not have thought of that I was this guy. You know what I mean? Right? I wasn't. If you looked at my first videos, which you can't anymore, but
oh god.
But if you looked at my first videos, I wasn't. I was just like, and today we are going to look at the price.
Yeah,
because I wasn't as happy as, and even when we have some downturns or whatever, it's just like, dude,
I love watching your stream, dude. I watch your stream all the time because it's just like it brings joy to your life, and that's like one of the things that I didn't design or program or even account for. I mean, I'm big on memes, and we've had a memes channel like forever, right? So I do like humor in general. But people keep commenting like, "Thanks for making crypto fun again," and I'm just like,
for real,
huh? Because none of my game theory stuff is designed around that. You know, like it's no.
But it is so much fun to like look at it and just like speculate on, and I think it does have a lot to do with the people that are involved with the currency.
For sure.
I mean, we got people like RG3 and Good Texture and Funding Jim and all those guys, and yourself. Like you're a blast to be around.
Thanks,
if you're not on the other end of beating. So like,
if we agree on stuff, we're great friends.
I just sit there with popcorn laughing the whole day. I go for a walk every day and I listen to you, and I'm just like, I'll just be there and be like, he got him,
dude.
He got him. So
the savage beatdowns, the savagery. Here's what's so interesting. If you go back through other people's predictions, they got everything wrong, right? Yeah. So like, I like Ivan. He's a nice guy, but I have a feeling he's got a bag of IOTA. And I said a year and a half ago, this is the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. It is 100% garbage run by assholes. Now look, I'm positive, but I'm positively calling these people assholes. I'm enjoying it because they are. And I was 100% right and they were 100% wrong. They lost their users' private keys because they put exploited software in their client. They lost their users' private keys. On top of shutting the entire network down to try and build some Rube Goldberg machine to make up for it using AML KYC. So like, okay, if the hacker tries to steal the money and you try and steal the money at the same time, then our good and glorious centralized foundation will decide who really gets the money. What a good solution. Really, really well done, guys. You guys are the best.
That sounds like a crypto. Same with EOS with their how they can.
Apparently they changed that.
People you can't do. They don't do that anymore.
Well, they apparently like EOS was
out if you just been sitting there for too long.
Sure.
Like,
EOS was they might have kept that. They got rid of the like default judgment thing. So they had like a fake court that would just be like, oh, somebody said you're a hacker. We take your money. They might have kept the like you didn't move your coins. We take your money. Or they might have got rid of it. But like, how the fuck can you sell someone a coin and then be like, yo, you know what you signed up for? By the way, we're changing that. Humans are going to get together and they're going to change that. So if you don't like that, well, I bet you wish you didn't buy that bag then. That's not, that's the opposite of why crypto exists. Yeah. Crypto is designed to get rid of stupid humans screwing things up and just use math. That's what crypto is designed for. And then every crypto I see, they have voting. It sounds
like crypto just figured that, like, it just went away from actually what crypto was. Like they've invented their own, like they brought, like, what is it when you set kids out and they'll start their own kind of government system or so? I know it's like the Lord of the Flies kind of thing, but it's like there's something I forgot what it's called, but yeah, it's like if you give it a long enough time, it all turns into exactly what it was before, and it looks like that's what crypto is turning into, where it's just exactly what.
They're like, oh, this is the reason that law exists. Oh, and that's why that, and this is so. There's a guy that predicts that societies get fucked up every 50 years because the kids of the people that had it bad forgot that it could be bad, and then they undo all the protections against the bad. Right, like right now, people are out there fighting cops.
Yeah.
Well, guess what the cops do all day long? They fight the criminals. Right. So people forgot that, like, I'll show you the chart. Here's the number of people killed by cops. Here's the number of people killed by other people. It's literally like this. This is the bigger problem. The biggest problem with people getting the shit killed out of them in America is other American citizens killing them, period.
Yeah.
And it's not the people that are fighting that for a living, right? Yes, they could be better trained. Like, if a cop's pulling you over, he ain't going to give you no awards or prizes. You could either lose a lot or lose a little. That's it. If a criminal starts beating your ass, you could lose a lot or you could lose a little. You're not going to win any awards, right?
Right.
I mean, I guess you could kick his ass and steal his wallet, but then, maybe he calls the police on you. This is game theory. So, like, I've always
game theory and criminal.
I'm from Florida, man, and if you want to know how it is, just go to floridaman.reddit.com. Somebody today told me a game that you play where you search your birthday with Florida Man in Google, and then you see like what type of stuff Florida men were doing on that day. And I did that, and some guy was arrested for getting an alligator to bite him, a caiman apparently, which I believe is a crocodile. Not sure, but I think it's crocodile. And then he got it to bite him, and then like he fed it beer, and then that's apparently against the law to get alligators drunk. So he got jail for that.
for just for getting the alligator drunk after he bit him, huh?
It seems nicer to me than throwing the alligator in the drive-through window, which is another Florida story. There's so many Florida stories. Wow. It's like
Florida
is madness.
I can't wait to go. By the way,
oh boy,
Payday's a great place. I've never been there, so it should be a great time.
Yeah, bring. It's gonna be spicy. So what are the things we're going over? One, you've got a mental diet. Watch what you put in your brain. So. Yeah. For instance, have cops been killing the shit out of people for a long time now? Yes. Do you remember the Rodney King riots? And then what? What happened after that? Once they burned Los Angeles down, what happened? Well, the cops apparently are still beating the fuck out of people, right?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, so did burning everything down help? Apparently not, So like, if you want progress in the world, it's the consistency that is going to generate it. If you go out and march and tear a bunch of statues down and then go home and go back to your life, no progress will be made. The guys that sit there and grind out getting better people elected and getting better people hired and getting more money for training and grinding that hard work out, that's where the progress actually comes from. The people that go to the gym for one day on January 2nd and then don't go again, they don't get any gains. But the people that go every day, they get all the gains. So if you watch the news and it's not changing your behavior in a positive way, you're truly wasting your life. The majority of human beings would be vastly better off not ever watching the news.
Yeah.
Because what are you doing with the data? Like, okay, I watched some of this. Okay, look, they're marching and they're firing tear gas at each other and they're fucking each other up, and you watch it and you're like, okay, yep. Now what do I do with that? What am I going to do with that?
Right.
I'm going to waste I'm going to piss off my crypto followers by tweeting this fucking half of people don't like it, half of people like it, polarizing bullshit, right? Like, I'm not even sure that's useful, like I've got unique commentary on it, but it's like a landmine, right?
Yeah, no, it is, because it is polarizing. And you can't make anybody happy, and so it's just like, why even care about it? And it doesn't affect me, I guess. When maybe if it does affect me, maybe. But I mean, that's kind of the thing where it's just like I didn't speak out when they came for, kind of thing. But it's also more of
Yeah, but
like,
it's like,
but it's more of just like the manipulated. You're looking at something completely manipulated
so
anyway, and then you're giving your choice of words on it, and then it's like, yeah, maybe I
I think
wasn't always.
I think the important part is to like extrapolate learning that you can do across every new event that will occur. So this particular political strife, it will go away, and then we'll have the next one, and then we'll have the next one, and then we'll have the next one. And the best thing that you can do is learn how to manage your consciousness economy, your attention economy, so that you're paying attention to things that benefit your life. And I got to tell you, watching people beat the shit out of each other in the streets, yeah, it's fun. I got to say, it is fun to watch, but it's not, there's a lot of better things I could be doing with my time, right?
Right.
A lot. And I think that's for everyone, There's behaviors you can have that add lasting value to your life. And the news is the least valuable of those things because it is ephemeral. It goes away, but if you learn, if you learn sales or you learn marketing or you learn human resources or you learn to speak a new language, which I think is stupid, but hey, it works really well for some people.
I'll cross that off the list of questions.
Yeah. I speak Spanish, but it's not benefited my life in a long time. So I almost wish I didn't know it, I wish I was better with human resources. I wish I didn't have to cycle through so many bad people to find to good people. So I would instantly trade like a ton of all my keyboard knowledge, which is like at least a couple books. There's so much stuff I know about. I wish I didn't know about computer hardware, SSDs, NVMe, M2, like scaling, like all that stuff. I wish I didn't know it. All human resources. Yeah, because think about it. If you're an expert on last year's processors, guess what you're an expert in? Nothing of value.
Yeah, nothing. That's
because
true.
It's ephemeral. That knowledge depreciates very quickly. Just like the news. Oh, I know about this year's this guy running versus that guy. Oh, cool. Well, guess what? Next year, different guys. So you just wasted a whole shitload of time.
That's true. That's true. And then you worry yourself into like, for me, like, and sounds like you too. It's like, then I worry myself into going and eating more. And so then I eat more. And then it's like, it's a horrible feedback loop where it's a negative feedback loop where I'm just like, I'm eating because I'm nervous because all this craziness is going on. Because I looked at the news or I saw these people fighting. And then it's just like, and then I look back into it and then it just keeps going around and around.
It's That's why it's better to be positive because one, you're going to attract better people into your life. If you are more positive, you are more fun to be around. If you are more fun to be around, you're going to have a better choice of who you want to spend your time with. So you're going to get paid more at your job. You're going to have less stress eating. You're going to have less cortisol in your body, which isn't going to centralize fat around your midsection. You're going to have less wrinkles on your face. On down the list. Like it's massively positive. The trick, the magic, in my opinion, is to be happy and joyous and grateful in a way that is productive. So that if one day, you have a bad day and you're like sad or whatever, right? Then you look around and you're like, yeah, shit's still real good, Yeah. Because there's people that do it. There's people that do it wrong. If you're a hippie or a monk and you spend your time mind fucking yourself thinking everything's fabulous while things deteriorate around you and you become weaker and less powerful, that's mind fuckery. That's not better, that's worse. So be productive positively, but don't be positively unproductive.
I think honestly the like people ask me how I'm so positive. Well, like I saw some pretty, like I was in the middle of Iraq war, like I actually had to see some crazy shit, and so like like every day is almost kind of like a happiness, like, oh man, I'm alive and I actually get to experience my life. And having this, I've been down in the dumps. Like before this, I was pretty down. Like you have to also think about that stuff. But then this gives me a whole new like, hey, I got something to do, you know, instead of trying to just be like thinking about it all the time and stuff like that.
Yeah, man.
So it is very much,
it's
all about what you think about it, for sure.
I'll tell you another thing that's always been logically there, but I've never emotionally like felt it and lived it and employed it. If you're Bill Gates and you're making $1 million on some software deal, there's 10 other software deals you're not making $1 million on.
Right.
If you're anybody and you're sitting down having a delicious steak dinner, usually not eating Italian, right? You're not eating pasta, usually. So whatever it is that you do, whatever awesome, amazing thing that you do, there is an infinite number of other things you are not doing. The more opportunity you have, the more things you're not doing. The more money you have, the more things you're not doing. So when you realize that life is you choosing what you want to do and then ignoring the vast majority of everything else, it makes you more okay with missed opportunity.
Right.
So it's like, think about HEX. Think about all the opportunity HEX has. I know there's people that are working on adding anonymity to it. I've seen it. I know there's people that have already built so that you can pay fees in HEX without touching ETH, and they already use it. So the tip bot in the Telegram channels uses that technology. So you can withdraw your HEX without having any ETH necessary to do the withdrawal. It's called meta transactions. So I've seen people working on margin trading stuff. I've seen people suggesting other cool stuff built on top, right? Imagine the pasta menu that we use all the time in the Telegram channel that answers so many questions people have. Why won't the price dump on day 353? Well, no one knows, but here, look, the people that claimed, their claims are spread out over 350 days. So if you're worried about those guys dumping, they're going to be dumping over a year, and a lot of them locked up for longer than a year, right? So there's all these cool resources. Now, who has access to that pasta menu? It doesn't exist anywhere else in the entire world except Telegram. And Telegram is obviously a minority of people that use HEX because there's a lot of HEX wallets out there. So shouldn't all those cool pasta commands be on a website somewhere so that people could actually like gain benefit from them, right? Like, yeah, they should. So maybe shouldn't the HEX website be in like every language? Yes, it should. So like, I would love to see more languages. I would love to see these other things like finished and actually rolled out so that people could start benefiting from them. And then marketing as well. You know, my last multi-million-dollar thing I did, we had tons and tons and tons of referral marketers, and they operated at scale, you know, like they had teams. HEX doesn't have that yet. And no other cryptocurrency that I'm aware of has ever had it. So we are built to have that. We have the referral system in it. We're so many opportunities are open to us, you know?
Right. Yeah.
So the magic is like old me, last week me would say, that sucks. Look how far behind we are. This should be done. That should be done. That should be done. Look, we're not even number 1 market cap yet. We're only like number 30 or number 20, depending on where you're looking. I mean, we should be number 1 already. Just is that fair? Is that useful? Right. And then when you're like, we should already be number 1 market cap, then you're like overeating. And then you sell less of your self-help book because you're chubby. No one wants to buy a self-help book from a chubby guy. So it's like so dumb, right? So like, yeah, the trick for me, the big thing for me, and probably no one else, like this is not a problem I've heard of very often from other people. This seems like a me-centric kind of problem. This whole like, when everything's going good, be unhappy kind of thing. It's gonna change my life. It's already changed my life, you know?
Good man.
If you have the best in the world, but you make it not the best through some trickery of your mind, like, you know, you started a $1 billion cryptocurrency, it's going great with the ladies, you know, you're healthy, no COVID, like, what do you want, dude? I mean, fuck, like it's everything's good, man. I mean, you've been retired for how long, dude? I've been retired since like 2003. It's 2020 now. It's 17 years. You've been retired, fucking around, doing whatever you want. Be happy, dude. Like, it's just not gonna get any better, man. It's really good now. Like, it's good now. So
yeah, most people like they inspire to do what
Yeah.
you've done
Yeah.
at 23 or whenever.
Yeah.
What is it, 23 that you? So most
Yeah.
people do 50 or 60 years to try to retire. You did it in like 5 years. So
And I'm scaling up. I'm not scaling out. I'm
that's
scaling up. Like
Yeah.
I want the SciVive book to come out. I want to see
Yeah.
Hex #1 market cap and then transcend it, right? Like let's get actual adoption. And people are always messaging me these cool stuff that wasn't really on my radar. Like some guy was messaging me even like an hour before I came on here. And he's like, yeah, I'm putting together a media kit so that we can get you like doing better interviews with like non-crypto people. So my picture, descriptions, cool headlines that'll make journalists like bite in, right? So the guy is a journalist, is doing it. And I know RG3 was doing something similar to try and pitch the Joe Rogan people. So yeah, that sounds great. There should be a Hex media kit, right? The list of stuff I have that like is so easy to do but isn't done yet. It's literally like this. It's just insane. And it gets longer every day, and I'm okay with that. Last week me would be upset that the list gets longer instead of shorter every day. New me, yeah, that's cool, because what's going to happen is better stuff will get done. So, you can either scale up resources or you can just do better stuff because you have more to choose from, right? And as long as you're triaging properly, you're like, oh yeah, we're going to ignore this. So for instance, some guy wrote like all these Chinese guides that are like really good for China, but I'm not seeing people type Chinese in chat that much. So I'm just like, yeah, it's going to have to wait. People did Arabic translations and Hebrew translations for the website, but they're right to left characters, which is like a nightmare from a UI perspective. They're going to have to wait. Like there's so many things that just have to wait because we've got higher priority stuff,
Right. Yeah, and I think that like the community is, I think that anybody in the community is willing to help with any of that. You know what I mean?
Dude, there's so many people helping. I love it.
Exactly. We've got so many people out there that are like, dude, like Steph and Firebud and there's tons of other people that are doing websites and stuff, but they're doing that staker app, which I don't know what it is. But we're all, everybody's
cool.
super excited. Yeah, it's gonna be super cool, and everybody's so excited about it. So we're all, I think that without having a roadmap, it makes Hex actually like legit, like it's fun to be around as well. It's not like, oh, well, are they going to get this done? And then they're 3 months.
See, like a roadmap is just someone else selling you bullshit. Someone else selling you future dream money for money today is what that roadmap bullshit is. And that is the opposite of why crypto exists. Crypto exists to get rid of some guy promising you shit and then not giving it to you. Like that's what banks do. Oh, you want to spend your money? We don't like where you're sending it. Only during our hours. We're going to have to fill some reports. Crypto's invented to get rid of that shit. So when people stand on stage and tell you, we're going to do this and we're going to do that and we're going to do this, you're like, oh, so, I just watched some press release about Factum going out of business. Oh, okay. I don't even know what the fuck they do. I think they were like one of the first ICOs. Apparently Factum's older than ETH. Apparently. It's older than Ethereum, apparently. And they smoked through like $18 million of funding. And now they're bankrupt. And their debts exceed their amount to pay their debts, their ability to pay their debts. And I'm just like, yeah, well, you know what, man? If you don't have product market fit, you need to stop wasting everyone's fucking time. Here's what happens. A company that doesn't have product market fit takes investor money and throws it in the garbage to pollute the environment with bad ads that no one cares about and consume developer time to build shit no one will ever use and consume mind space of the public. I'm here talking several years later about IOTA, about how terrible it is. But wouldn't it have been better if it had never existed and never consumed everyone's money and never consumed everyone's mind space and never the world would be a better place if it recognized Internet of Things itself has no fucking market. It does not exist at all. No, anyone that is intelligent that has ever had a digitally connected device in their house has disconnected that shit. If your light switches talk to the internet, you unplug them. If your refrigerator talks to the internet, you unplug it because the shit stops working. It breaks. It does not help anything at all. The best light switch is one that always fucking works and doesn't need a firmware update and doesn't need permission from fucking Google and doesn't phone home. It just works always. It's just like cars. People are realizing buttons are better than touchscreens for a car. Oh, you're driving. It's dark. Can't see shit. Tactile sense works real good. Knobs, buttons works good. Touchscreen, you're fucked. Oh, I gotta look down. Now I'm not looking at the road. Oh, right. It's some things work better the old way. So right now, all the Internet of Things has been for 10 years is a distributed denial of service attack, because all those shitty little garbage devices that they put out there that have IP addresses all get exploited because no one can afford to secure them. And then they are used to attack honest other things on the network, like websites. So all the Internet of Things has ever done in the years and years that it's existed is act as an attack vector against other honest websites. How the fuck is that useful? It's not. It's totally not useful. It's total bullshit. Oh, guys, we're doing all these partnerships. Pro tip. If your partnership requires that you work for free, it's because whatever the fuck you're selling isn't worth buying. Because you can't literally generate any money from selling it because no one will pay you. They'll only accept it for free. Yeah. Well, okay, so where does your revenue come from? Oh, well, we're going to let people use the network for free. Okay, well, where does your revenue come from? Oh, well, we're getting partnerships for free. Where does your revenue come from? Like, they don't. Yeah. It blows my mind. And then, here's another funny one, right? So let's take Zcash. Zcash was a piece of shit from the moment it fucking started. So we're going to make optional anonymity. So we're going to make a fork of Bitcoin called Zcash, and we're going to make anonymity optional. So there's no anonymity set. So any poor son of a bitch that actually decides to use it for anonymity is useless to him because it's obvious he's the only guy that did it. So it's up to maybe 10% shielded now. When I was talking shit about it a year or two ago, it was like 3 or 5% shielded. Garbage. Then they hire like 80 guys in their company. They have a 20% dev tax on every block, which I think might be 10% now or something like that. And the price just goes like, it went like this and then death forever. Why? Because they're selling the fucking coins every day to pay 80 guys to build shit no one's using. Well, what do you think is going to happen to the price? So everyone brags about, oh, we got all these developers. We got all this fucking, like Garlinghouse from XRP is like, I spend 80% of my time flying around in an airplane. Well, one, you're dumb, okay?
Oh, this ain't a scam.
Brad Garlinghouse. If this is it, which one's it going to be, motherfucker? We're either going to the moon. That dude's hilarious, man. I would love to see him make some fucking Hex videos. I really would. I've messaged him numerous times. I hope he fucking starts making some. I don't care if he hates Hex or loves Hex. I don't really give a shit. Yeah. I just want to hear the word Hex come out of his mouth. It's so funny. So I won't shill who I'm talking about until I see a Hex video come out of him. But it'd be fucking funny if he started making them. So Brad Garlinghouse is bragging about all these partnerships that they don't make any money on, bragging about flying around. You think Bill Gates brags about flying around all the time? No, if you're important, motherfuckers come to you. Why are you flying around like a bitch, getting X-ray radiation from the ozone and whatnot? Like, the fuck, there's nothing good about that. Oh, you're polluting the environment a lot. Congrats, man. You know, we got webcams. I got several 4K cameras right in front of me. Why the fuck don't you get a nice 4K camera, dude? I mean, obviously, you could just stop meeting people because you're not getting their money anyway because the price keeps going down. So, like, if you don't have product market fit, fire everyone's ass. Fire everybody. Let them go live a good, productive life where the shit they build, someone will actually fucking use. Enslaving developers to build shit that no one will ever use hurts their life, hurts the investors' lives, hurts the fucking attention economies of the people that see your ads for your shit that has no product market fit. Like, I'm just sick of seeing people waste all this fucking money. Dude, like, Hex is beating the shit out of how many coins? No office building, no payroll, no employees, no roadmap. It was just built better, and it has product market fit, and it doesn't need all that fake shit that just hurts the price. It's just like it's like Ethereum and Bitcoin mining. They only hurt the price. Bitcoin miners do not buy Bitcoin. They sell Bitcoin. Every Bitcoin that's ever existed was sold by a miner. They sell that shit, man. Every Bitcoin anyone ever has had in their whole life, they got from a miner. Every single Bitcoin is passed through a miner's fucking hands. And what do they do with the Bitcoin they sell? They pay to pollute the environment because they have to, because that's the security model. That's the proof of work model. Ethereum has to pay that. So Ethereum's price would be higher, but the miners have had to sell the shit out of it to pay mining bills. Bitcoin's price would be higher, but for 10 years, the miners have had to sell the living shit out of it to pollute the environment.
Yeah.
So like, does HEX need to sell any of its units to support its security model? No, not at all. Not at all, because we're piggybacking on these guys already getting fucked. So since someone else is already getting fucked on the proof of work overhead, well, we'll just tag along, right? It's just like Netflix. Do you think Netflix had to build out a pipe that would bring their service into your home? No. They just piggybacked on a fucking network that was already there called the internet. They didn't have to run their own cords there, right? Yeah. So Netflix got to get rich and the ISPs got to make nothing because the value accrues at the endpoints. Amazon got to get rich and UPS not really didn't make much because the pipes don't make much. The endpoints make all the money. Just like Tether. Tether does the most transactions of any cryptocurrency in history. It's not really a cryptocurrency, but you know, it uses cryptocurrencies to move its ledger. The Omni token for the network that used to run all of the Tether transactions does about $300 to $900 a day of volume. It's dead. It's wrecked. However, a multi-billion-dollar project ran on top of it. What does that mean? It means that you can have a wildly successful multi-billion-dollar project on top of your dumb pipe, and your dumb pipe will be worth nothing. As a matter of fact, it works better if it's worth nothing because transactions are cheaper. So, so Ethereum actually is a more useful network from a computation perspective when it's cheaper, right? Cheaper, right. Like who is it?
Say something like that. Like he said, it would, he actually wishes the price was actually lower just because it is supposed to be for transactional purposes. Kind of like what we're, well, not just transactional, but for transactional purposes.
Yeah,
like
expensive computing isn't great. Yeah, right. So, and I mean, I tweeted this. So some Ethereum guy who's popular posted, hey, you know, ETH price pumped really hard when ICOs were taking off. Now DeFi is taking off. Why isn't ETH taking off? What's your take on that? And I'm like, oh, well, let me tell you a story. The most popular coin on ETH is USDT. It's 66% of the transactions. 2/3 of Ethereum transactions are Tether transactions. Yep. Guess what? 100% of Tether transactions used to be on Omni, and Omni wasn't worth anything. So now they took that behavior that didn't generate any value for the substrate that it ran on, and they moved it over to a different substrate called Ethereum. Yeah. Well, guess what? It's probably not bringing any value here either. So, you know, and I don't think it got a lot of upvotes. As a matter of fact, the guy who founded Omni commented on the thread, and the guy who founded, and he also apparently founded Tether. So, you know, I'm like, listen, Omni was obviously a successful protocol because look, it allowed Tether to exist and look how successful that was. Now, you know, I don't want to argue with the guy because he invented something that works and is useful. And I'm not trying to shit talk his project. I'm only showing you that value stratification accrues at different points in any system. And in the world that we live in today, the majority of value is captured at the endpoints and really the endpoint where the customer is. The closer you are to the money, the more you get made, more you get paid. Highest paid profession in the world, sales. Why? Closest to the money. Right? Yeah. Dumb pipes, gonna get paid less. Customer doesn't directly interact with them. They don't have as much pricing power. They don't have as much walled garden. Like it's more commoditized. So, you know, Ethereum will pump when people want to buy Ethereum.
Right.
They wanted to do it for the ICO rage. They wanted to do it to get into HEX. They wanted to do it to get into Ponzi's like Plus Token and these other bullshit Ponzi's that are running. Those things generate ETH buying pressure. But does paying higher fees generate a lot of ETH buying pressure? No. because even at absurdly high fees, the amount of transactions times those high fees still doesn't equal jack shit compared to like FOMO pump money. You know, there's just no comparison.
Yeah.
So getting people to buy and hold stuff is where all of the value actually is. But see, it's so funny. People start out buying the coin that has the prettiest logo, which is obviously HEX.
Okay. Yeah. That was one of my questions, by the way. Because you have it in the book. You have it in SciVive, how yellow means the sun, I believe. I can't remember. And magenta means something. They're right next to each other.
Interesting.
In the book. I was like, I wonder if Richard did that.
No.
Oh, you did it? Oh, okay. Yeah.
It just happens to be the default gradient in Photoshop products when you start fucking around with gradients. So
okay.
It's like
that's the highest on purple, or like.
Well, I tried so many different color combinations because I study. They're called colorways. So I started studying colorways because they're popular in keyboards, and before they were popular in keyboards, they were popular in sneakers. And so you'll find that there's only so many like really awesome color schemes. So like pink and mint is a nice mix. A cool one that's very rare that I think is really beautiful is like maroon and baby blue. Or, I mean, black and electric blue is pretty cool, but you're looking like gray. I guess mint and purple and green goes well, but it's more of like that's why they used it for the Joker's colors, because it goes well, but it makes you feel a little queasy, you know? So like there's only a finite number of like badass color schemes, and we kind of rotated through them all. So I took like every good keyboard and sneaker color scheme and tried it to see what could work. We had, I mean, you were there for this, I think, in the Hex Memes channel, I think.
Yeah.
We had hundreds of different attempts at greatness, and this one just worked out the best. And we actually had to darken the bottom left corner, because when it was pure yellow on the well, it's not really CYMK, but when it was pure yellow, it would lose that edge. So on most white backgrounds, you wouldn't be able to see the bottom left corner of the hexagon. So we actually had to darken that up a little bit. So it's not pure yellow. It's a little bit darker to maintain that angle, because we need that sharpness there to maintain the geometry. Just so I'm a smart motherfucker. And when I put time into a thing, that thing I'm putting time into gets done well. Like my streaming setup, nobody has it better, right? When I write copy, or like when I write tweets that I put time into, they're awesome, you know? So the more things that or people that like me because they're smart like I am, like I think your thumbnails are fabulous, right? Your positivity in your stream is fabulous. You're scaling across multiple platforms, fabulous. There's a ton of stuff that you do really right. There's a ton of stuff that I do really right. And we are just kind of accumulating people that have this positive effect, you know? Yeah. I mean, I've heard stuff like about share theory from Good Texture. I've not even thought about it. Yeah, that's pretty fucking cool. Yeah, I didn't really think about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I hear this, I hear all these interesting angles from different people of things I didn't think about before. I'm like, fuck yeah, that's really neat, right? So I'm surprised by the cool stuff in HEX that is an emergent property that is awesome that I didn't even think of when I first did it, right? So like we did this awesome thing for this reason, and we got an awesome side benefit I didn't think about. Great, you know? Right. So if we continue to chip away at each of us individually and whatever we do in our lives, if you continue to be consistent and show up and put that little bit of energy in, things just keep getting better and better. Like I never have to change my streaming setup because it's perfect. Right. Never have to fuck with it. Don't have to touch my keyboard. It's perfect. And as we keep manipulating things and making them slightly better over and over again, we're just going to be beating everyone's ass. Who has a better Telegram channel than us? No one. Who has more audits on their smart contract? Maybe one or two, maybe somewhere, but it's like almost no one, right? Who's making better YouTube videos? I think you're kicking ass. I don't know anyone that makes daily YouTube videos that are as fun as yours, right? You don't make daily YouTube videos? Oh well, you need to get a YouTube channel, dude. Just make an extra account.
Well, it said that you can't. You like against it.
Fuck
it
them.
You are
Fuck
able
them.
to
Fuck them.
Fuck
them.
Account.
Fuck them. Fuck them.
Yeah, I was thinking that.
Don't care.
Yeah, it's
Do not care.
Yeah, I should just try another one. I was waiting kind of for them to, because I appealed it, and so I'm kind of.
You'll never get a response. You will never get a response. I have never gotten a response to my appeal.
Well, I mean the appeal, because like you know how Bitcoin.com, like once they delete your channel, I guess it's kind of more serious. Maybe I don't know. I was gonna give it a week and then maybe.
No, just make a new one, dude. Like fuck those guys. They're a persistent threat.
Right. Yeah.
They're an APT. They're an advanced persistent threat. They will always suck forever. Period. Here's the reason they will always suck forever. Even though Google's a massive, massive company, and even though everyone loves YouTube, if they actually tried to provide good service, they'd go out of business because it's that expensive to do. So yes, it sucks that they suck, but if they don't have a computer almost do everything, they will lose even more money than they're already losing because customer service is actually really expensive. So it's going to continue to suck forever until AI is so smart that it can just make the videos too. We don't have to make them anymore. Fucking AI's got it covered. So like, you know, I have to keep like changing my screen to make it brighten up because it like dims. Just like I'm using it for light for my face.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So like I keep having to like get it to realize not to dim. I could go into the firmware and change the settings, but I haven't messed with it. You have to like hack it, like a firmware menu. So much effort. I did on my last one, but I didn't do on this one yet. So positivity. Be productive joyously. Realize that life is really, really good right now. And it can be forevermore. So like, be happy. Yeah. You will see me happier in my streams. You'll see me happier in day-to-day life. I'm not sure how the happiness is going to come out in the tweets because I derive profit from fucking people up on Twitter, right? So like, you know, people don't want to see me like like people don't want to see me like happily, you know, they want to see me fucking up people that deserve to get fucked up. So a savage tone somewhere. Savaged.
Yeah.
There's a movie called Matchstick Men. Where the guy from Con Air, what's his name?
Yeah, forgot. Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, Nicolas Cage. He has a nervous twitch because he's scamming people all day long. Yeah. And his subconscious is like, man, you shouldn't do this. You shouldn't do this. You know, this is fucked up. And then he just has a twitch. And then I associated that with Tone's stuttering. So I said, you know, Tone probably stutters so much because his subconscious knows he's feeding people into the margin trading meat grinder and he's profiting on their horror. Now, it may not be the case, but once I set that idea in motion, it may become the case. So maybe he'll turn into a stuttering pile of sadness or something. Well,
once I made the Da meme, he started wrecking himself on Twitter. So
you know, I mean, look, how can you? The math is so simple. I don't know anyone that has ever said they've ever made money on his shit ever, and he's been doing this for like a long time. So it's like at least you should randomly. I'll tell you this. This is a funny trick. You put out a newspaper public. You send out direct mail, and you say that this stock is going to go up to half of the people, and you say this same stock is going to go down to the other half. Well, one of those is going to be true very likely, and then you only mail the next round of letters to the guys that you got it right. Okay, your next round of letters, you choose another stock, you send half of those people that it's going to go up, half that it's going to go down. It happens. So now you're down to a quarter of your list, but you've been right twice.
So they're so you can really,
like, you can have people that due to just math, you've been right like 6 times in a row. But your list is 6 times divided, right? Like your list has been cut in half 6 times. But those people that have seen you be right 6 times, you're a god, right? You're a literal god. So
I used to watch Tone. I used to watch him. Like, not that I thought he was God. I thought that he had some good. I mean, honestly, learning from somebody that's supposedly good at something.
But that's every scam, right? So the BitConnect scam was, hey, we're gonna lend your coins out somehow or some shit, right? Or the most common thing in crypto is arbitrage. Okay, we're going to run these bots that do arbitrage. Give us your money. We'll give you more money later. But the arbitrage doesn't happen. It never occurs. It's fraudulent, right? And it's the same thing with trading stuff. I can predict the future. But instead of just sitting at home in my fucking underwear and predicting the future for mad gains, I want to travel the world and talk to 5 or 6 people at a time and get like $500 off them. What? You're like, just go double your money a couple times, bro. Yeah. I mean, fuck, you're good at this trading shit. Yo, hey, just go 10x long. I mean, shit, you got like 150x available to you, right? Go 10x long on any of your calls and then just take the next couple of years off.
Yeah.
But you can't because you're wrecked. And you've always been wrecked. Like,
not only, yeah, exactly. Once I came to that realization of when you told everybody, like, you can't reset if you're selling, of course, for 0.2 or 0.3 Ethereum or Bitcoin, and you're probably wrecked, and you haven't actually made any money, and with your trading, your little program, because that's where you're getting your money from, is the people that are under you that are getting wrecked, and then you show them your margin trading links, and it's just like, okay.
And the worst part, here's the worst part of it, right? He's not just fucking you for the money that you give him. With education that you think is going to make you rich, it actually destroys your life and takes your money while it's destroying your life, right? So you used to be a nice human being. Now you stare at charts, hoping and dreaming to derive some type of meaning and pattern finding from them, with 10,000 other assholes staring at the same chart, trying to take each other's money. Yeah. Get 5,000 people on this side, 5,000 people on that side. Give me your money. Give me your money. Give me your money. Nope. And then all you guys get exit scammed at the same time. Yeah. It's like, it's fucking, hey, we all got scam wicked both ways. We got fucking Darth Mauled, the red candle, like, bro. Fuck.
Yeah, you're in like some Telegram group with, I think he had a Telegram group or some kind of group, a trading group that you had to pay for as well. And it's
private groups, of course. You want to know how they do it in the real world? In the real world, people that aren't dumb fucks, like people that can actually profitably trade. Go and get a fucking license from the fucking state, be a registered financial advisor, go open up a hedge fund. It doesn't cost that much. And then if you get wrecked or you make money, you're still making a percentage anyway. If the fund makes money, you make more. If the fund gets wrecked, you still make money. Less, but you're still making money. But then at least people can see your shitty ass track record and then maybe avoid you, right? But when you sell this virtual investment fund shit, where like my price calls are better than Tone's and I give them away for free.
Oh yeah.
So it's like I do his job better than him for free.
If I would have just listened to Richard Hart's calls on every of them, just on the Telegram group, like if I would have just listened to all of them, at about 8,000, I was like getting, I held it all the way through because I was just like, well, Hex is coming around someday. And then after Hex came around, I liquidated all my Bitcoin. I don't have any of it anymore. But yeah, it's I wish I would have listened, but it's all right though.
Predicting the future is hard, particularly when the game changes. So I'll tell you like an in general trading thing that I kind of believe. If you look at parabolic advances in Bitcoin, when you violate a 45% drop, you are in a bear market, period. Mm-hmm. If there was enough FOMO to make new higher highs all the time, there's enough bid support there that you ain't going to drop that much. And what have we seen Bitcoin do? Dropped 86%, dropped 75%. This is just in 2 years. It dropped 65% in 2 weeks, 2 months ago, maybe 3 months now. Well, that sounds like more than a 45% drop to me.
Yeah.
So it's like that doesn't sound like FOMO to me. Now, where's our new higher highs? We had a 14K high on the plus token Ponzi. Have we been back to 14K? Nope.
Not even close.
12? Nope. 11? Nope. We got to 10.4 just to clear some stops up there. So, like, what the fuck, you know? And when people are tweeting, this shit disgusts me. It disgusts me. $100,000 Bitcoin's inevitable. Is it inevitable?
Oh, yeah. I see that all the time. I always laugh. Ooh,
Because
watch out for the
10,000 seems to be a real motherfucker, you know?
Yeah.
Like two or 3 years ago, the shit was 20,000. So it makes me angry that people are now Bitcoin maximalists because they're so wrecked on their shitty altcoins that they got wrecked on that it's like the only thing left for them to like latch onto. And then they, for engagement, tweet stupid, vacuous bullshit that doesn't make any fucking sense just to get likes and retweets.
Yeah.
So we're the new 1%. No, you're not. The bankers own more Bitcoin than you do. They're still the 1%, bro. Tim Draper and the Winklevi twins were both millionaires when Bitcoin fucking appeared on their radar, and they own more than you will ever own. So shut the fuck up about you being the 1%. The 1%'s the 1%, motherfucker. You're not the 1%, right? Not in Bitcoin. Like, you could do it in HEX because you're new. It's a 6-month-old coin. But in Bitcoin, they got in before you, and they were way richer when they started. So you're double fucked. You're fucked squared. You're not resetting society with Bitcoin because the bankers bought that shit. So it's like, when I think strongly about, like, for instance, I have Pomp ignored, muted. So I haven't blocked him because he can read my tweets if he wants. But every time I see anything he ever tweets, it literally makes me angry. And so it's like, why are people liking and retweeting this? It's so, I mean, not everything he says is horrible, but enough of it is horrible that I'm just like, yeah, I get it. Okay, another tweet for fucking, Bitcoin's going to be $20 trillion. Half my money's in Bitcoin. And then the price drops by 4x. And it's like, dude, did you re-up? Because I know half your money's not in Bitcoin now. Because Bitcoin took a big shit. So, like, you gonna rebuy? It's just hypocrisy, man. People that hold bags that are down 85% one year and then the next year 75% and 65% in a fucking week or two, they're gatekeeping and being like, yo, this shit's the best. You're like, bro, that's not even good. Like, that's fucking horrible. You remember back in 2015 to 2017 when you could not get a drop over 40%? You couldn't even get one drop over 40%. Remember those days? Yeah. So what's up with this like 85% drop shit, right? It's a different game. It's a different fucking game. And so the predictions you used to be able to make back then, they don't play now. They do not play now. The game is fucking different. You can't just low margin long and just sit and be like ultra fucking happy. That shit is out. It's not happening. I do wonder if and when margin trading would appear somewhere for HEX. I do wonder how many people are going to be wrecked into oblivion. Like,
trying to short it, or
either way, the longs can get liquidated too. It's like, I mean, because you're in a currency that $2 million. So like, I haven't looked recently, but my guess is that there's probably like 10 or $11 million of liquidity, which means there's like $5 million of ETH, which means if you doubled the ETH, then you 4x the price. So if you put in $5 million, then you put the price of HEX up 4x, which put us at new all-time highs, I believe. So is it that hard to find, $5 million in crypto? No, it's not. We like whales, some whale. Like when people buy your cryptocurrency, it's all whales because the distribution of money in the world is all whales. So if you get like 1,000 plebs, one whale will like vastly put more money in, So that's reason that you get these jumps. So actually Tom Lee has a good analysis on this through his technical analysis guys. And it's something I didn't notice, but it's pretty interesting to know. Like Bitcoin on average loses like 15% a year, except for 10 days. And in those 10 days, it makes all of its insane fucking gains. So if you're out during any one of those 10 days, you're like wrecked compared to what you could have been. So understanding the choppiness of the appreciation, and even if you look at HEX, it's like, you know, sideways, 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 massive green candle.
Yeah.
Like, okay, well, like the guy that doubled the price is still higher than when he doubled it. Right, so, you know, understanding that in crypto, at least in the cryptos I've looked at, you get these huge green candles. It's like you don't know when the next one might come, right?
Yep.
They're like rogue waves. You don't know when the next one's coming. So if you're margin trading HEX and you're on the right side of one of those, cool. Like you're golden. But you could be on the wrong side, right?
Yeah.
You know, like margin trading. But Warren Buffett has a good saying. I'm sure it was someone else's saying before that. It might even be Charlie Munger's saying. There's only like 3 ways to go broke: ladies, liquor, or leverage. So
either all 3 of them.
He's got great quotes. I mean, I really should go through and like read all of his stuff, basically. But here's the thing, right? I should go read all of his stuff, but I should also just edit all my amazing stuff and publish it. So it's like, right now I need to absorb less and just produce more. But like the motherfucker is a genius. He really, yes, the world's best investor that's ever existed. Yes, he's a pretty smart dude. I'm really going out on a limb here. I also don't like Nazis. Can you believe that? Really adventurous statements. He has another statement that you should never risk something you need for something you don't need. You're like, yeah, sounds pretty fucking smart. And then he gives an example of people that have blown their funds up, taking risks that they didn't need to take. You know, like, like how many people that have run funds have just annihilated themselves? You see this shit happen all the time. You know, they take risks that they didn't need to take, and then they lose something that they really could not lose. You know.
Yeah. All right. Well, I got some questions about.
I'm ready.
If you want to be.
Yeah.
Okay.
Man.
Let me see. Let me get them. Let me put on. Let me bring my friend into the.
Oh shit! Oh shit, dude, should I go get mine? You want me to put my hat on?
Yes, definitely.
All right, I'll go get my hat.
Got to get this little guy ready. What's up, guys? Hey, thank you for all the lemons and ice creams, guys. Thank you so much. Oh, there we go. We got the top hat gang.
It's so dark in here. Can't even see the fucking hat. I can't hear you until I put these headphones back on.
It's all right. But thank you guys for all the donations today. But, all right, let me see. Let me get the.
I've never worn the headphones with a hat before.
All
right. I can make it brighter here just by like putting on something white on my screen. Let's try that.
Yeah, you can do whatever you want, man. I don't know how to wear this thing. It's very new. I actually I put this on the other day, and my wife was kind of making fun of me. But then I felt more powerful. Being these things. I was like,
well, you're taller.
Around the house. Yeah, I feel like almost like how much taller is this thing? Like a foot taller. You
Fuck
feel
yeah,
like
dude.
you're like 6. I'm 6 foot tall. I feel
Nice,
like
dude.
I'm like almost 7. I'm almost 7 foot tall in this thing. So it feels real nice.
Bro, I used to wear this top hat all the time, and I'm talking like during the day. Yeah, like just out and about, dude.
I like it. It looks good on you, man. Like you pull off the top hat.
Thank you.
Like everybody. We were wondering what happened to the top hat. That was one of the. Looks like
it's hard. It's hard because I like have nice hair, so it's like
it's like a cowboy one.
Well, what happens is I like the curve here, and I like the flare at the top. Okay. So a lot of cylinder hats you get, they're just straight and then straight, and it's more of like a kind of older school dance, like Fred Astaire kind of thing, you know. Okay. This for me, it's more my vibe.
Yeah, I think that it's what made you popular, dude.
Nah.
Like, I don't know.
Not blinking.
I see a man with a top hat. When I saw it not blinking.
Not blinking was my key to success, bro. My earliest YouTubes, I'm like, blinking is for the weak. I will never blink. I don't even know what the fuck, like why. But your body, you're just talking to a camera alone, and you're like,
yeah. It is very
this is weird. Yeah.
Is that the first time that you've done, like, obviously you probably did a couple of other things, but like for your own, like,
when I first shot my YouTube videos, I was just like, yeah, you know, the production quality was okay. Like I zoomed in too much, like a music video, but they pan out every once in a while. It was just too tight of a frame. So for what we're doing, we kind of want the same kind of frame that they have as a newscaster in the news, right? Because they figured out what frames work well. And then blinking is nice if you can do it. It helps look human, you know. You don't want to give them the Mark Zuckerberg data from Star Trek fucking, you know.
Oh my god!
And then people would ask like, why are his pupils triangular?
Yeah, that was me. I pointed out they're triangular pupils. I think it was just because there was like a whiteness underneath.
Well, no, it's because I used a headshot setup from a guy named Mark Hurley, I believe, and he brings in, his system is that he uses these expensive fluorescent tubes. I don't know if they're called D lights or something. It's like fucking like $3,000 for the lights. Damn. And then I just used like soft boxes with incandescent lights, which are better than, they're hotter, but they're more color accurate than any fluorescent light anyway. So like real candlelight and real incandescent lights are the best color rendering index you can get, CRI. When you use fluorescent or LED or I guess OLEDs, they don't produce white the same way. So like if you use most LEDs, they just don't produce blue the right way. So red. So like if you put an apple in front of a normal LED light and then in front of like an incandescent light bulb, like a halogen or something, the fruit looks more natural and real. So if you go to like a supermarket and the supermarket has any brain in their head, they're really illuminating their fruit with real ass lights, like halogens, you know.
Okay.
They're not using LEDs. Yeah. So if you go to like a good lighting store, you can have a box that has each light isolated into its own little box, and then you could take something and sit in front of each light and say which one actually does the job right. Anyway, so in his setup, you end up with like a triangular shape, and then you see that in the eyes. And so, yes, it works nice, but like, I don't know.
Triangle pupils.
Yeah, I mean, if I had to do it again now, I'd probably just make a ring light of some sort, because ring lights are pretty nice. But I'm not using that format anyway right now. I think this is a nicer format.
Oh yeah, that's good. All right, yeah, I'll get around the. I was one of my questions here is what, like, I saw that you said the 5G is above your head on a tweet. What is that thing? Is it just a light?
I said that I was a prop. So I have this like old, because I used to live in hotels for 5 years, and then some countries their internet would be wrecked. So I just got like a sector antenna with an SMA cable, which is like an antenna cable that I could hook up to a war driving high sensitivity Orinco USB 802.11 G card, right? So I have like a war driving kit that I'm not using for war drive. So war driving is when you like drive around a neighborhood looking for access points that aren't secured. And so you want like a really sensitive device and a large antenna. So I just got like a war driving kit for traveling the world. And then I just have it left over. Like I have all this shit left over. Like I have a portable printer, portable scanner that I've not used in like 10 fucking years, right? And then like war driving kit, you know, because, you know, I just had, what am I going to throw it out? I'm not going to throw it out, you know? And the world has moved on. Like we're on like 802.11 XYZ or some shit. And I'm like back on G, you know, with that stuff. So I just fucking stuck a label on that and just wrote 5G on it. And then I've got all these C stands, these Century stands for studio stuff. They're like There's two ways to do studio stuff. You can have these collapsible, shitty, hollow aluminum things that are light and fall over, or you can have these baller as fuck heavy aluminum C-stands that like they ain't falling over. They're hardcore. And so I have all this kit to just move shit around if I want. So I put the antenna like right over my head, you know? There's so much creative, fun stuff I want to do, but the equity's not there.
You could do some funny, like, dude, I think that you could do it. I think that you could do it. Because you're pretty hilarious. I love your hilarity. So it's like, I think that you could make some pretty, like, some memeable videos for sure. Like, you know what I mean? I like some skits.
Particularly if you want to throw money at it. If you wanted to throw money at cool shit, think about all the cool shit that you could do.
That's true.
Right?
Yeah.
The trick, that's what I was telling you about this human resources thing earlier. So I'll let you know another, like, should I share this? Who's watching? Are competitors watching? I don't think they are.
Okay.
And they're too stupid to take my good advice anyway. So I'll share this with you.
True.
There's a cancer in the cryptocurrency community called bounties. Mm-hmm. Bounties suck dick. They're terrible. Why? So you aren't smart enough to find someone that's good at what they do. So what are you going to do? You're going to create a bounty. And the bounty is, hey, I want this thing done. So let's say for instance, you want to translate the website. Hey, somebody should make the HEX website in Indian. Okay. So we're going to have a bounty. This is a hypothetical. I'm not actually doing this. I'm telling you that this sucks. Right, yeah. So I'm definitely not doing it. And our bounty is, if you translate the HEX website into Indian, we're going to give you like, $1,000 HEX. One, you might be overpaying. It might cost less than that from someone that does it for a living. Two, what if 8 guys compete for that bounty? Now you've got 7 guys that just wasted their time. Right. What if you only let one of the guys reserve the bounty? Well, now you're fucked. What if he doesn't come through? So bounties are how people that aren't good at finding excellence try to make things happen. Right. And they're garbage. So I've had, and I've tried this. I'm not just saying this like theoretically. I have tried bounties and their results have been garbage. So I had like hey, make a good meme bounty. The result, the submissions were all garbage. And then the guy that won was the guy that posted like the Bitcoin $7,000 meme that was a copy of like a Bollywood thing with 7,000 put in there. I'm like, yeah, that won easily. So someone else could have won like $500 or whatever by posting a fucking okay crypto meme. It wasn't specific to HEX at all. And I've been completely disappointed with any bounty of that form. And here's the reason why that happens. What percentage, so let's say I was still in the Carstera business. What percentage of the people that are in my follower list want to buy a Carstera right now? Probably fucking nobody, right? It's just not the right fit, Right. Okay, so what percentage of the people are like badass graphic artists? Like 0.05%, maybe, right? And then you need to get them when they're not already swamped at work, actually like your idea, right? The people that you want to work with, they're not messaging you because they're fucking busy. Mm-hmm. So anyone that's messaging you already or wants to do your bounty, for the most part, it's because they're not actually that good at what they do. They're not top tier. So if you're making bounties, you're going to get dog shit results usually. If you want actual good results in this world, you need to hire people that don't want to work with you and have never heard of you and aren't cold calling you. You need to go and hunt them out if you want good things to happen. Could you get lucky? Sure, you could get lucky, but it would be luck. Right. You need to go do the hard work and find people that are good at what they do. Now, can I think of some places in my life where I wish I knew some people that were better at some shit? Yes, that's how we started this conversation. With me telling you, right. I trade my other languages and I trade a lot of my technical knowledge for human resources knowledge, because finding the one guy that can actually do the job well is worth everything, Right.
Yeah.
Because these other guys waste your time, give you shit results, and then charge the fuck out of you, and then call you an asshole when they're done. You're like, all right, well, fucking I wish we never did any of that, you know.
Well, it sounds like you found the correct developer, because from
We
what
did
we hear from all the people, the developer that developed Hex was like the mastermind,
He's badass,
top of the top. But which I don't know how much you could talk about him. What you know, like what are
not at all. I don't say anything about him.
Okay, I was just wondering. Just how badass he is. I just wanted, you know, like
here's the thing, right? There are shitloads of really good developers, nowhere near crypto. There are shitloads of good affiliate marketers, nowhere near crypto. There are shitloads of really good graphic artists, nowhere near crypto. Crypto's full of mostly losers, truthfully.
Right.
These are not. Have you seen the production quality on, like, you and I run really good crypto streams. Have you seen what a lot of other crypto streams look like?
Yeah.
It's garbage. It's like comb your fucking hair, get a couple props, fix your fucking mic gain, right? Like, Jesus Christ, there's kids. There's like 8-year-olds crushing the production quality levels of these fucking people. And you're just like, dude, just why not just do it better? Like, literally anything that you want to do well, you could literally just go on YouTube and search it and watch one goddamn video. Like, how did I learn lighting? I went on YouTube and was like, lighting. And they're like, oh, there's the 3-light setup that you use for interviews. And you're like, all right, I want to learn. I want it to look better. Headshots. You just fucking Google it, right?
Yeah.
Like, I was making some pasta today. I
did all my stuff. Yeah.
I was making pasta today, and I'm like, all right, I don't know how long to leave this shit in there for. YouTube. How long do I leave the fucking pasta in there for? 7 minutes. Okay, I'm going to try it. You know? You just Google. Like, it. I'm constantly learning new stuff every day. Every day.
Yeah.
And why? Probably because I don't have the human resources as good as I'd like. Because, like, I know if I learn it, the shit will be right. But if I give it to, like, one idiot and then another idiot and then I have to keep training idiots, and it's just like, dude, I could have fucking done this. Like, I didn't need to train 4 idiots. Like,
is that one of the, like, downfalls of owning a business? Because I've never owned, like, a business and hired people. Is that, like, something that you have to always be like
it depends on what skill you're operating at.
Idiot for true.
Oh, bro, you're gonna have churn. You're gonna have turnover. You're gonna have bad employees stay. You're gonna have good employees leave. Having a bad employee stay is the worst thing. Yeah. People confuse why businesses exist, and then they get into. So when I was younger, I thought having more employees was better. So I was like, oh, I got 150 employees. How badass is that? And then as you become more wise, you're like, actually, no employees would be best. People would still get their products and services and be very happy. All of these people could go do something more productive with their lives that in certain cases, they might even have more growth potential in, right? Like, if you're a call center rep, what's your path to more money? There ain't none. You're stuck right there. So that's not a great job, right? So if you've got any kind of business that has a lot of call center reps, you should be trying to free those human beings to go do something more productive with their lives and automate that if it can be automated. And just like most meetings could have been emails and most video calls could have been voice calls, a lot of calls to call center reps are due to bad documentation and bad business process that generates people having problems and having to call you. So you can fix a lot of those things before they ever happen. So you learn that. You're like, I wish I had less employees. For me, less overhead and more efficiency is more beautiful. And I don't need for my identity or my ego to try and lock more people in a room from this hour to that hour, and we call those employees. Right. You know, so I learned that. I was like, oh. And then if you see something that's not working, just quit that shit earlier. It's not working. You know, rotate faster. So, like, you learn these tactics. I've done a lot of businesses, I've done a lot of businesses, and I read constantly business things. So it sticks, and you get these good ideas, you know?
Yeah, I forgot who I don't know if it was Tony. No, I don't know if it was Tony Robbins, but he said pretty much like if there's like a a turd in the punch bowl, are you gonna drink the punch?
Definitely not Tony Robbins.
But it's like that's how that's kind of how it is if you have a bad employee, where it's just like if you got one bad person, it kind of spreads to everybody else, and then everybody.
And it prevents you from seeing how awesome that job could have been done if the right guy was in that position. So, I mean, I got to tell you, Hex came out a year later than it could have had because I believed the stories I was being told by certain devs.
Right.
Code wasn't being written. Code was supposed to be written. Stories were being told. The code wasn't written. So if you have devs and they're not typing code, they're stealing your money. Now, I mean, look, a lot of development time is just thought. So depending on the complexity of the project you're working on, like Hex is actually a very complicated project. And we ran into bugs with game theory that took months to figure out. Like, it was hard as fuck. So from this perspective, the majority of dev time in Hex was thinking time, not writing time. But for the majority of development, the writing time, it matters, you know?
Right. Yeah.
So like if you're doing if you're solving problems for the first time, thinking matters more. If you're just implementing shit that's been solved 50 other times and you can you can search your solutions on Stack Overflow, you need to be typing a lot.
Yeah.
If you're not typing, if your hands aren't on the keyboard, you're just fucking around. You're reading Twitter. Yeah. You're doing meta work that you think's work. You're checking Slack and shit. That's not work. You know, the best, if you guys see me not tweeting, feel good. Because tweeting is for me similar to that ephemeral news shit, right? Right. I mean, think about, I have taken the low hanging fruit from Twitter. I really have. You know, if I'm gonna get more fruit from Twitter, I don't know, man. I've had a bunch of I've been working on that shit for a long time. It's good. We're gonna get most of our growth from places that aren't there, in my opinion, or at least are not crypto Twitter. I mean, Twitter is actually a gigantic platform, and we're just isolated in this little tiny little subsection. I mean, how many viewers do we even hit? How many viewers do we even have right now? I can see on my side, I've only got 280.
On DLive I have 270. I can't see anywhere else. So let's see.
You want to know how pitiful those numbers are in the real world?
Right. Yeah. Right. I mean, compared to some things though, like I mean, it is like if I go up on stage every week, you know, and talk to 100 people, because that's how, you know, for somebody that's never done anything like this and getting 100 people back when I was getting 100, it was just like, man, I couldn't speak it. Like a year ago, I wouldn't be able to be up in front of 100 people and go, hi everybody, you know, like it was just completely, I didn't even think like that, you know. It was just like that, it completely blows my mind. But I understand what you're saying, where it's just like,
remember, positive me sees the opportunity in this. Hey, look, we have $1 billion cryptocurrency and we've only got 500 people watching. Imagine if we had 50,000 watching. That's the reality, right? Like we should be happy that we're able to do the amazing things that we are with the few people that are involved. Imagine if more people, right? Like, holy shit, you know? What if there were a Hex Con and you go to the, you know, like big event, right? Like, holy shit, there's like a stage and fucking skylights with the Hex logo on clouds and shit, which actually doesn't work.
That's what the big payday, dude. Big payday party. That's what like, maybe not this year, but soon. Maybe, you know, a couple of years from now.
I hope you have a cool turnout there, man. I hope you do.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of people that are probably going to come, and I do like meeting the guys that are in the community. You know, it sounds like it's like, honestly, like it's cool because I see a lot of other, you know, like Bitcoin communities. It seems like so dreary and so like, hey everybody, and like the Hex community, it seems like everybody's like on everybody else's side. Like everybody moved over to DLive after my YouTube channel. You know,
that's
like
pretty cool.
270 people. I was getting 170 people on YouTube, and so it's like,
I got to tell you, that's actually really.
And we're like #1 on DLive right now, I guess is what they're saying. So it's just like, I mean, that's why I like this community. It's just like we all kind of you've talked about it where we will rally around each other and be like, yo, stop picking on this guy. You know, or somebody says something, talk shit on Hex, and it's like, no, how's your coin doing? Let's hear what your coin projections are, there, bro.
So like, I think, like, I'm just guessing. I think that I talk smart enough that I alienate some people, and then the people that like me and like Hex are just smarter people, I think. Because we have a really useful, smart, like, I'm impressed with the community, you know?
Yeah.
If you go into other coins chats, you don't see a lot of intelligent comments. And you're just like, I don't want to be here. It sucks, right. You know? Yeah. These are not winners. Yeah. So like, I'm very happy with the level of discourse that we have in the chats and in the community. And then I think we also, the draconian, you think you could troll here? Banned. I think that works so well. Because all those guys that just want to waste time and drunk post and shit, go fuck around somebody else's chat room, man.
Yeah.
We're here to do amazing things.
To do. Yeah.
And I think another great innovation is we have a bear channel. You want to be bearish? Cool. We have a channel for this shit. Go over there.
Right.
This is the bull channel. We're here to promote Hex. That's what the primary goal of this thing is. We're not here to talk about censorship.
Yeah. They can't get too upset because it's like, well, we have
go to the
another
bear
channel just for you.
Be pessimistic as you like over there. The bulls will always be right sometimes. The bears will always be right sometimes. The price is going to go up and down. So we have both. I think that's really cool, you know?
Yeah. No, it is.
Who else has that? You think there's a Bitcoin chat room that has a bear chat? Nope. It's not out there.
Not that I guess not that the owner the founder or whatever put together for him at least.
Well, fucking anywhere. Where's the Bitcoin bear chat? There's not one. There's just not. Like, there is not one. There is a Hex bear chat. Period. It's that fucking simple. Like,
All right. Well, I got a question for you. I got a question for you.
Yeah.
So I read in your book, in the SciVive book, there is the Richard Buddha learning journey story. Is there,
Jesus, it's not even ringing a bell. Refresh my memory.
It was a section. It was like the Richard Buddha learning Buddha. It was like the Richard Buddha story, learning journey story. Is this?
I think I know what that is supposed to be. Was it completed or was it like a stub?
No, it wasn't completed. It was just like, this is something that you should talk about, or
sure. Yes, it is. So I know what it means encoded. When I was growing up, we read a book called Siddhartha by Hermann Hesse, I think. And it talks about the life journey of someone that might have been Buddha. And, you know, he did something, can't remember what, and then he did business, and then he tried to fuck as much as he could, and then he did this, and then he did that, and he had a really well-rounded life, and he tried all the things. And then I've kind of done that too, right? You're like, all right, gonna go work for a living. All right, fuck, this sucks. Now what? All right, well, we're gonna try school. Let's get the hell out of here. This sucks too, right? So like, skip your senior year, get your college paid for free, take that government money, early admissions. Don't waste your last year of high school doing nothing anyway. You know, taking wood shop and other bullshit classes just to like, because that's what everyone else does.
Yeah.
And then you're like, all right, well, decide what you want to do with your life. Well, I want to be rich. Okay, well, who's rich? Lawyers, doctors, business people. Okay, how long to be a lawyer? 7 years, costs money. All right, fuck that. How long to be a doctor? Like 7 years plus, costs money. Okay, business? I know retards that make money in business. Shit, let's go do that. All right, all right. Well, you ain't got no money, can't start a business yet. Okay, well, who's the highest paid profession? Sales. All right, I'll just do that. So it's like, you're just like, you're presented with these choices and you just make what's like the obvious fucking choice. You're like, yeah, well, the highest paid profession, sales, so I'll go learn sales. Oh, fucking the people that appear to make the most money with the least input time are business people. Well, fucking go do business. And then you go through life and you accumulate all these things, and then you reach this like I don't want to call it enlightenment or whatever, but you're like, you've seen that, you know where it goes, you know?
Yeah.
So when I go out into the world and I see people in certain places, I understand a lot of the time what they're going through because I have been there, you know? Like, so I think that stub was supposed to talk about having a well-rounded story in life, and, you know, because if you think about it, every belief system has themes that rhyme, you know?
Right.
So like balance is one of those themes. So you've got yin and yang, like the Jesuit priests who were like the worldly priests. Like they're like, yeah, we're into money too. So we're into Christ. That's cool. But we also like money. And they've turned out great. Like this guy, Balthazar Gracian, real smart dude. You should read his book, The Art of Worldly Wisdom. He says like, never eat to fullness. That's great advice. It's actually great advice. Dude, when I like overeat, I'm fucking tired. Yeah. So now
for the night,
you're like, and then are you burning a lot of calories while you're sleeping? Not really. Oh. And why do you eat? To like have energy to live. Okay, then you overeat. Well, now we're going to do something that looks dissimilar from living. We're just going to go into this state here, you know? So there's great advice that's hundreds, thousands of years old, you know? And SciVive it's basically a guide where if you're willing to engage your brain, I'm going to try and get you the best results I can out of your life with minimal bullshit, you know? If you can do this, you can do that, you can do this, you should do that, go do it, you know? Most books you read have not a fucking thing you can actually do. You hear about the author, you hear about his past, he's going to name drop some famous people to you. Okay, great. Okay, now what do you want me to do? What am I doing? What am I doing here? A lot of writing. Okay. What do you want me to do? I want results. I bought this fucking book because I want results. What is it that I can really do? And most books leave you just assed out. Like you can't get any gains from that. Like, I don't know why I call it HEX. SciVive is, I keep on like the HEX book. I'm so used to HEX. SciVive is, by the way, HEX is such a better brand than like everything. Like, SciVive sucks as a brand compared to HEX. HEX is a single word. You can't misspell it. It's fucking great.
I accidentally say it all the time to my family and my wife. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to go get some HEX. I mean, food.
No shit. Wow.
Like what you just did. I always am like saying HEX. I'm like, I don't know. It's always in my brain. I think everybody else is like that too. It seems like the community is like, you've got like everybody else is kind of just very much in it.
Yeah. Think about how bad of a brand Ethereum is. Everyone misspells it. So is it like Ethereum or Ethereum with an I there? It's a terrible brand name. Bitcoin, not actually a good brand name. No. It's like, you know, what are good brand names? Amazon, Google, Yahoo. Okay, those are actually good brand names. That's how it works. Sorry, making up stupid words is what works, but hey, it is. So Apple, you think they sell fruit? You think they sell fucking apples there at Apple? No, they don't. But it's a great brand, isn't it? Hex is a fucking great brand. Fabulous.
And you can enter it into anything like Hexolin or,
yep.
You know, it's just like everybody always comes up with some random.
I went through the dictionary and
I guess there you go. It's like you just put Hex in front of everything.
I love it.
It's awesome, dude. It's awesome. I mean, even Amazon doesn't have that. You can't be like,
True.
oh, I'm an Amazonologist, you know, or
true.
I mean, I guess you could, but it's like it doesn't sound as good as Hexologist or, you know, what.
It's the best brand in crypto, easily. And when I look at logos, like, let me think. I was looking at advertisements in newspapers, and I was looking at the logos of other advertisements in the newspaper, and those logos look like shit.
Yeah.
So the Hex logo looks so good. And if it were to appear in a newspaper, I think that it would stand out next to other things.
Right. Yeah.
There's also what can I say? I believe that there will be some form of public address posted where people will be able to donate to digital currency awareness, in particular HEX stuff. Okay. But kind of waiting on the right verbiage from legal on how to explain that,
Yeah.
Because I think it would be neat, and apparently someone else thought as well, that it would be neat if there was an entity that people could donate to anonymously that would then do cool shit, cool HEX shit,
Right.
I think that's neat.
Yeah.
It's just tricky because we don't do expectations of others. And so if there's someone else in the world that wants to do that other expectations of others shit, but it's a donation kind of thing, it's separate, It's very important that it is separate. So
right.
Waiting for legal and all that stuff.
Well, I can't wait.
Yeah. Cause imagine there was an entity going out there and spreading awareness of HEX effectively. Right. And then people would chuck money at it. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
I think that'd be great. It's just, this would be so much easier to do if it was a security,
Right. Yeah.
Because then you could do.
Well, it sounds like XRP got the
right.
pass, so maybe I don't know.
That's what's so funny to me, dude.
Cryptos are securities anymore. It doesn't sound like anything could be a security.
I don't understand it, right? So I do the opposite of what everyone else does. Charlie Lee founded Litecoin. He's like, hey, we're getting confidential transactions. Got a lot of cool stuff coming up. Dumps on everybody's fucking heads. Okay, well, where's the confidential transactions, man? We didn't get them. You scammed us. Oh, we're doing lots of development, and then you find out they're not doing any development. They're the foundation's broke. Then no one's committing fucking code. You're that's a scam. You guys are trying to pump the fucking price, but you're not actually doing the work that you said you was going to do.
Yeah.
That's a scam. And then everyone does that shit, right? XRP guy. Oh, we're teaming up with all these banks. What does that really mean? It means you're trying to pump the price. But really, you're dumping on everybody's fucking heads all the time. And then when you do team up with these people, the fucking price don't go up. So, scamming, right?
Yeah.
Now, is it legal? Yeah, I think it is legal, but they should be aware of what they're doing,
Yeah.
Look, guys, they're telling you that all this future shit's going to exist, and then they want your money now. But look at how I do it.
Yeah.
It's all vacuous rumors and there's absolutely no guarantees whatsoever, or even hard expectations, right?
No. And I think that's what another thing that makes HEX really good is everybody knows that it's a complete product is what we, and it's nice actually knowing that we don't have to rely on another person to pump our bags because it's just it's done. It's completed. We don't have to, if something else does come and it wants to pump, that's awesome. But
it's also a separate thing. It's just an unrelated separate thing.
Right.
So if, all these people that have built on top of HEX, that it doesn't have any, it's like building on top of Bitcoin. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's good for Bitcoin if you build on top of it. It's good for HEX if you build on top of it. But they're separate things,
Right.
It's like gas in your car. Your car runs on gas, but you ain't getting gas. When you buy your car, you're not getting gas, right? They're separate. The gas and the car are separate, even though they're related. And it's the same with HEX. So all this other stuff that's being built around HEX, it's not HEX.
Yeah.
So it's neat that it's just it's the same way if Ethereum improves, HEX gets the benefits from those improvements.
Yeah.
That's great, Imagine an alternate reality that I wasn't playing the legal game so strict and going above and beyond the call. I won't ever make a forward-looking price statement with HEX. Never made one. Right. But with Bitcoin, I'm like, yeah, 20K seems reasonable, blah, 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 all this stuff. I won't do that with HEX. Now, how many other founders are willing to talk about price?
Right.
Everybody,
Yeah.
So I don't talk about price in HEX, but everyone else talks about their bullshit, right?
Yeah.
I don't talk about fucking promises and all this stuff. Everyone else does, and they profit from that shit. So everyone else is out there selling you promises for stuff that's not complete. HEX is complete, and that's what I find so funny is like, crypto is a world, and ICOs is a world, and even securities in general is a world where people sell you a big vision of the future to get your money today, and then they fuck you over and don't do what they said they were going to do.
Yeah.
Over and over and over and over and over again, all the time, And how many projects are actually done and work perfectly and can't be edited and can't be changed? It's like almost no one,
Yeah, I don't know.
All this DeFi shit has voting and admin keys. Yeah, so they could vote to fuck you up.
Yeah.
And the admin keys could just vote, make everything stop working. Hex doesn't have that.
Right.
And all this shit with promises, like the Factum guys, I'm sure they made lots of promises and hype bullshit. Okay, well, now they're bankrupt.
Yeah.
How'd that work out? Right? IOTA, trinary. Fuck binary, we're going to do trinary. Okay, well, you lost everyone's private keys. Not everyone, but a whole lot of private keys. You lost them. You failed the worst possible, imaginable way you could possibly fail. Call it quits. Go home. Stop. You ain't cut out for this game. You've been fucking up for years.
Right, yeah.
Unimaginable fuck ups. I don't never heard of anyone else losing an entire crypto. Like, you lost the private key. How? What? It's not even like it's not impossible. I don't even understand how you could do it.
Yeah.
So I love HEX.
So
I love it.
Yeah. Oh, it's the best thing ever, dude. Like, you asked me today, so you were like, "Are you flexible to do this?" And I was like, "Well, HEX is my only job, bro."
It's fucking
it's
great,
the only
man.
thing I do. So yeah.
Dude, it's only 6 months
I'm always
old.
sociable.
It's only 6 months old.
It's great.
I mean, fuck. The opportunity is gigantic. Gigantic.
Yeah.
Remember this. I was around when Bitcoin started. We are so far ahead of when Bitcoin and Ethereum started, and XRP and everything else. So far ahead. So far. And in some ways, we're ahead of where they are now. So it's like, we did that in 6 months. And without a centralized entity. Truly decentralized. I keep hearing about shit that's been built or being built that I hadn't heard of before. Like the guy today that's doing the press release, like, have Richard on your show thing, like the description. He made a cut video of everyone calling me a scammer. It's fucking hilarious. Because people want to interview the drama, right? Or whatever.
Right, yeah.
So he made a cut video of like everybody that's called me a scammer. It is funny, dude. It's like, because they're all wrong. Imagine you're like, don't claim HEX. You're going to lose your private keys. Well, worked out for over $2 billion of Bitcoin. Worked out just fine.
Almost three.
Yeah.
It's getting close to 3.
Apparently, I've been quoting that number low because the number I'm quoting is after whale penalties. The actual number is larger.
Oh, okay.
So I need to update my language to support a larger Bitcoin claim number, because I'm quoting it like net after penalties when I could be quoting it gross before penalties, which is more accurate because that's how much they have,
Right.
So I'm underestimating how many Bitcoin has been claimed.
Bitcoin, Ethereum, and so many coins. Which coin is the best? Is it too late to buy Bitcoin? Why must cryptocurrency be so confusing? When you need clear answers, go to Richard Hart. The smartest man in crypto, Richard Hart. Richard Hart started mining Bitcoins on his graphic card in 2011. Richard knows his crypto stuff. Crypto Smart with Richard Hart. Check out his YouTube channel.